What is your American dream?
That my daughters can grow up and do anything they want to do. That's my American dream.
My American dream is an America that's unified and diverse and, filled with understanding and compassion and love.
My American dream is I hope that we can all just live equally and freely without prejudice, without ignorance.
I want to create a business. I want to focus and build my charity, start in America, build a charity.
My American dream is that we can live in a country where we don't necessarily agree on absolutely everything, but we can respect each other and we can work towards making the country better together, because that's what it's all about.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. What is your American dream?
That my daughters can grow up and do anything they want to do. That's my American dream.
My American dream is an America that's unified and diverse and, filled with understanding and compassion and love.
My American dream is I hope that we can all just live equally and freely without prejudice, without ignorance.
I want to create a business. I want to focus and build my charity, start in America, build a charity.
My American dream is that we can live in a country where we don't necessarily agree on absolutely everything, but we can respect each other and we can work towards making the country better together, because that's what it's all about.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
What? Oh my God! My Uncle Phil! No, this isn't right! He's been framed! I need the criminal department right now! Ah! Jake! Jake!
What happened?
My Uncle Phil's in trouble and he needs a good criminal attorney. The sheriff of Puxatawny has put a wanted posters up for him because he got it wrong about winter and we had a snowstorm in the 7th week when it was only supposed to be the 6th, and he's hiding out in his burrow on Nobbler's Gob. Gonna be hiding forever because, he needs to come out of his burrow eventually. Spring is finally here.
He's going to need a good lawyer.
I know.
A lot of people are upset about this weather.
I know. Can you help him?
Don't worry about it. If he hires the criminal attorneys at Spar Bernstein, we'll make it as smooth as possible. He'll be back home at Gobbler's Knob before he knows it.
Well, that's great, but I gotta tell you, I hope you can put him on a payment plan, because remember, he's just a groundhog. He doesn't make very much money.
Of course, we work with our clients.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you. You're making me feel so much better. I'm gonna go call home now and tell him.
Good.
Thank you. Oh, such a relief knowing Jake and the rest of the criminal team at Spar and Bernstein are going to be there for my Uncle Phil, so he'll be able to give himself up, handle it all, and be able to go back home to Gobbler's Knob where he belongs, to run free as a groundhog. Well, now that I'm relieved, I can tell you about what happened on yesterday's show. David Moreno, criminal attorney at Spar Bernstein, discussed one of his AVO reviews where he saved a man's whole life by getting him off of a DWI charge that he really didn't deserve to do time for or have on his record. Good job, David Moreno! And Brad answered so many immigration questions. It was crazy. The phones kept ringing. People were writing in their social media questions. Brad worked hard yesterday, making sure everyone is educated on what their rights are and what the law is when it comes to immigration. What's going to happen on today's show? Well, you're going to have to watch to find out. Let's do it.
So for many of you who know, David Moreno is one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys here at Spar and Bernstein. He's a former Manhattan district attorney right here in New York City. He's also named one of the top black lawyers, top 40 under 40 actually, black from the National Black Lawyers Association. He has been named one of the top 100 trial lawyers in the United States of America. He has been also named as an Expert Network Distinguished Lawyer and has also recently just won the coveted Rising Stars and Super Lawyers. He makes up one of the three of the tag teams we have here in criminal defense at Spar and Bernstein. David Moreno, Paul Hirsch, Jake Hudnut. They're our criminal defense team here at Spar and Bernstein. They handle all criminal cases in New York and New Jersey, as also federal cases throughout the United States of America. And David, we've talked about your Avo page in the past. I went through it again recently. It's an online site where people go to find attorneys, AVVO, and you go, and also if you're a former client, you can always go and leave a review or a comment about your attorney. And I just found this one. It was left on March 20th. It was by an anonymous person, but he did give you 5 stars. I guess he didn't want to, or she did not want to say who they are. But let me read what it says here. It says, "Amazing lawyer, I highly recommend. Hiring Dave to represent me was the best decision I could have made. I was facing a felony and misdemeanor charge for intent to sell and possession. I was very worried and concerned because I had never been in this situation before, but Dave reassured me and worked swiftly to achieve the best possible result for me, especially since I had no previous criminal record. I was initially facing 1 to 3 years in prison, but because of Dave's hard work and diligence, I ended up serving 7 days private community service and walked away with only a disorderly conduct. I am eternally grateful for what Dave has done for me, and I feel as if I have a new lease on life to really make a positive impact on society. I highly recommend hiring Dave for your legal needs." Possession with intent to distribute. That's a big deal. And even some people may be even saying, wow, why are you so proud that you got a drug dealer off the street? And now this guy says, it was his first offense. He was never arrested before, but he was facing 1 to 3 years in jail. So what happened, and what do you have to say about this character, the gentleman that you represented?
I can speak ad nauseum about this client's character, and I am elated that I got him off of the charges. And this is exactly what prosecutors do. This is what police officers do. They read the charges, and they forget about who the person is behind the charges, right? They forget about the facts, the underlying facts that led to this sort of arrest. Now, you read that, you think that we've got Pablo Escobar on our hands. No, right. We didn't. Not even close.
Well, one of Pablo Escobar's
one of his
comrades who he gave drugs to go sell on the street. Right.
No,
and then you hear of Donald Trump now saying we want to execute drug dealers. So you hear Donald Trump, this guy gets charged with a drug offense. He should be executed. Sounds like a very bad guy. Mm-hmm. Tell us about him.
So our client in this situation, and he's a very bright guy. Obviously, he left it anonymous because that's under my advice. He was at a music festival in New York City. And what do people do at music festivals, Brad?
They party.
And how do they party?
They drink, they do drugs, that's life.
Okay.
Well, every teenager and every millennial has gone to, I would assume, 1 or 2 music festivals. Maybe not, but many do. Maybe not everybody, but many do, and those who don't are aware of what goes on.
Okay. So our client was at this music festival, and he wasn't at the door. He wasn't hanging out by the bathroom shadily, selling people drugs for $10 or $20 or whatever it goes for. He was partying with his friends. We're talking about a young man, a very young man. He's partying with his friends. A police officer walks up to him, an undercover cop, a female. She starts flirting with him. Says, hey, I want to hang out. I want to party with you. Do you have anything? Do you have anything for me? I want to party with you. And our client goes, he sees the girl, he thinks he's got a chance there. He's like, yeah, I've got some stuff. Do you want to party with us?
Now, is this a young black man?
This is a young black man.
Okay, and now this music festival, I assume there's the whole Rainbow Coalition is there, the whole gamut, and she purposely went after this young black man.
Went directly to our client.
Right.
She went directly to our client, and she enticed him. And my client did not take $1, not 1 red cent from this undercover officer.
Just shared what he had.
He shared what he had with her. And I'll get into the law of it all in a minute. Shared what he had with her. She walks away, after hanging out with him a little while longer. And, 5 minutes, 10 minutes pass, and he's arrested. And he had a couple of pills on him, remaining pills. It was 3 pills, which he had for him and his friends. He didn't make $1. He didn't sell anything for profit, and they arrested him and charged him with several felonies, possession, and then they charged him with possession with intent for the 3 pills that he had on him. And they state that the 3 pills he had on him is possession with intent because there's an inference.
What were the pills that he had?
He had ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
He had ecstasy on him.
Right.
He's at the party. There's a presumption under the law if you have more than one of something. Or
You're selling drugs.
Correct. So also under the law, which a lot of people don't know, and I initially didn't know.
So even though no money
that's
exchanged hands, the fact that he had 3 pills on him, the law presumes you wouldn't be walking around with 3 pills because it's more than you would consume in any 24-hour period.
Correct.
So obviously you're a seller.
Correct. And also under the law, a sale means not to exchange currency. A sale means to sell or to give or to share. So I can literally give you this pen. If this pen was narcotics, you received it. We've just completed a sale under the law.
No consideration needed.
No consideration needed.
Right, and consideration means that there has to be a fair bargaining, a handshake agreement. You give me this, I give you that.
Under the law, the sale
could be a gift.
Correct. So now in this case, it's very interesting. We've got a young kid. He's got a lot of stuff going for him. It's a great job, great educational background, great family, great volunteer history. He's done a lot of work for different organizations. Just an amazing kid that was out partying, made a stupid mistake. So we've spoken about this in the past, and you said there are 3 ways to defend a criminal case.
Right.
In this case, we're highlighting more than one.
So let's talk about the 3 ways, because we talk about it all the time. You can argue the law's against you. Mm-hmm. All right, there's a violation of law. This cop should never have frisked him and found the drugs on him. It was an illegal search, illegal stop. You can argue the facts. Wasn't me. I wasn't there. It was somebody else. Somebody else's drugs, not my drugs. It was the guy down the street's drugs. It was the guy singing up on the stage. He handed them to me. I don't know, whatever it is. Possible, you never know. Or the third thing is you argue this person doesn't deserve what he's being charged with. Let me tell you about this human being. Let me tell you about the character of this person. This person should not be characterized as a drug dealer. Let me tell you more about this person, and let me paint a brighter picture. Because right now, all you see is a stick figure. Let me take out my paintbrush and paint all the colors of this person.
Great. Now, this is the new unique case, and it's clear that you went to Dave's School of Criminal Defense, right?
Yes.
This is the unique case where I use all 3 to our advantage, right? The law. How is the law on our side? There's a little thing in the law called entrapment. And what this police officer did was entrapment. She solicited our client. Our client didn't solicit her. Right? So we have the law on our side there.
Right. He didn't walk over to her and said, hey, I got 3 pills. You want one?
Correct.
Right.
Also, what we have on our side, look at the facts. The facts, when you read the charges, is possession and possession with intent to sell and a sale. When I tell you these facts after hearing it, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. The facts are on our side. And third, in this case, our client has a lot going for him. This is his only contact. This kid didn't even have a traffic infraction prior to this. He's never done anything wrong in his life in terms of the criminal justice system, and he's got a lot going for him. So we're now highlighting who this client was as a person. So now I present to the prosecutor, I said, look, we can go forward with this case. We go to trial, you better be prepared to overcome the entrapment. Right, because I'm going to have the jury hear from the judge an instruction on whether or not the jury believed that this police officer solicited the criminal conduct that the client was accused of, or whether the client initiated the criminal conduct. If the jury heard that testimony, the way it would have came out, because our client was articulate, the story was true, there were several witnesses, that case most likely would have been dismissed.
What would be that? How would you describe, if you can say, like, for if you were an armchair, we always like to use the joke, you're an armchair lawyer, meaning, for people who didn't go to law school, how would you describe to a jury what entrapment is?
Simple. Entrapment is very, very, breaking it down in layman's terms.
Yeah.
Entrapment is an action by law enforcement that would cause you to commit a crime, right? So in this case, using this case for example, legitimately, our client would have not committed the crime
But for
the police's actions.
Right.
Simple.
right, he would never have shared these 3 other pills with anybody else.
Now, our client was guilty of possession of controlled
drugs.
substance,
Right.
correct. And theoretically, under the law, if we're being honest and objective, every single pill he shared with his friends, that was a sale.
Right.
That was a sale. But his conduct and behavior wasn't any different than 85% of the people at this music festival.
And everybody's partying, dancing. They look like they could be drunk or eyes watery. Why did you pick this person out of everybody?
Because he fit a specific profile,
Right.
He fit a specific profile. He was an easy target. Look, I don't want to get into the whole racial aspect of it, but as a black man, I'm very conscious of it. I'm cognizant of it. Having him as a defendant in the courthouse, it's more likely that he's going to deal with stiffer penalties. I mean, this stuff is well documented. There's documentary after documentary on it. There are a number of statistics on it. It happens here in New York City, just like it happens in Jackson, Mississippi. It happens all across the country.
It happens in Los Angeles. It happens in
everywhere.
Miami. It happens in Chicago.
It happens everywhere.
So now this kid, okay, facing 1 to 3 years in jail, a felony drug sale, ruins his career. Whatever his career is, if he wanted to be a doctor, can't. If he wanted to be a lawyer, can't. If he wanted to go work at any major company, you fill out a job application. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? There's very few companies that would ever even hire him. All because he was stupid and had 3 pills for him and his friends and was flirting with a girl who turned out to be a woman who turned out to be an undercover cop. What happened with this case?
Well, I convinced the prosecutor that it wouldn't be in their best interest to go to trial. Obviously, for them, they weren't going to just concede the case at that point. So we bargained because we could have pushed this thing all the way to a trial, but our client has a very busy life. It could take, up to a year, more than a year for us to get before a jury. So I highlighted who he was a little bit more. And I said, look, give this kid a chance. Let's have him pay his debt a little bit, right? He did do something wrong. He was in possession of a controlled substance. I convinced the prosecutor as an adequate sentence. Our client is very interested in public interest and community service to give him back. I said, how about we have our client, do some more community service. Let's have him contribute positively to society so he feels, some sort of punishment for his actions, because he's a young kid. If he just walks clean off, then there's no lesson to be learned, right? I'm in this not just because I want to get every client off. I want to help them move forward to become better people. That's why I do what I do. So he did 7 days community service. I believe this client volunteered at a hospital working with cancer patients for 7 days. And once he completed that, he pled guilty to a violation of disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct it can be being too loud on the street. It can be blocking the sidewalk. It can be literally getting into a shoving match with someone. It's non-criminal. It gives him no criminal record. He paid a little $120 fine, and that was it.
So when he goes on a job interview and you fill out the form and it says, have you ever been convicted of a crime? The answer is no. It was a disorderly conduct.
Correct.
And
in fact, you don't even have to say disorderly conduct. If you've ever been convicted of a crime, the answer is just no.
And then that's it.
Even a disorderly conduct, at that, only law enforcement can see that, and that itself is sealed in off your record after 2 years anyway.
So how does it make you feel? You help somebody who obviously made a very bad decision, stupid decision. Lots of kids make stupid decisions. There was half of the people at this festival made a stupid decision. This kid got caught making it. How does it make you feel that this kid made a stupid decision, really could have cost him his life, his career, and you got him back on track, a new lease on life, you gave him an opportunity? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel tremendously humbled. Again, this is exactly why I do this. Reading this kid's, words, these thoughtful words about what I did for him, it touched my heart because, a lot of kids aren't given second chances. A lot of kids don't have diligent representation. There are a lot of kids just like this client sitting in Rikers Island right now. So the fact that I was able to make a significant impact on his life, not only his life, but those around him, his family members, his unborn children, because this can start a vicious cycle. God forbid this client went down for a felony. Now he's out of society for a while. He can't get a job. He's now an absentee parent. Like, this starts such a cycle. Yeah. And we were able to break the cycle by getting this kid a second chance.
I'm reading again what he wrote here, and I'm just going to read part of it. Again, because it was so important to everybody out there. I was facing 1 to 3 years in prison, but because of Dave's hard work, his diligence, I did 7 days private community service and walked away with only a disorderly conduct. I am eternally grateful for what Dave has done for me. And this is what's important. This is what you were saying. And I feel as if I have a new lease on life to really make a positive impact on
And
society.
I'm confident this guy will.
Dave,
Confident.
Dave, wonderful job, fantastic job. This is what we do here at Spar and Bernstein. This is just a little tidbit of what we do here. But for everybody out there, God forbid you are ever arrested in a crime. God forbid you're ever being investigated. Maybe you're going through the process right now. Have good criminal defense attorneys representing you. Obviously, prior successful results can never guarantee a similar outcome, but I will say the difference between going to jail and not going to jail is probably, and people can argue with me all day long, but this is my opinion. 50% is the facts, and 50% is who's your attorney. Now, you can't control the facts of your case. Well, you can until you get caught, but certainly you can control who your lawyer is. You can control the other 50%. You're looking at very good criminal defense attorney, our entire team here. Save our number. You never know when you'll need it. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. And for everybody out there who says that they don't think that they would ever need a number for a lawyer, you're wrong. I've never met a human being in my entire life that lives in the United States of America that at one point in their lifetime either needed a good lawyer or their very close family member needed a good lawyer. You're looking at him. David Moreno, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Thank you very much, David. Fantastic job.
Brad. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, David Moreno. By the way, I'm telling you, I would just watch this. I'm going to make sure my teenagers watch this. If you have a teenager out there who goes to concerts, who goes to music festivals, they should be watching this. Here's a kid who never had a problem in his entire life and was looking at 1 to 3 years in jail just for doing dumb stuff. So everybody right now, please save our telephone number. God forbid you ever need a good criminal defense attorney. 1-800-529-5465. We have totally revamped the Brad Show tonight. We usually start with whatever's in my hand here, and then Kimmy Kim Kim is next to me, or Yo-Yo is next to me. But today, next to me, it's Jenny Fridays. Everybody should know already. Friday means Jenny Friday. Jenny Kim joining me, one of the fantastic immigration attorneys here.
Hi,
welcome,
Brad.
welcome.
Hi, everyone.
We had some, as you can see, some technical difficulties. And when we have technical difficulties, people's tempers get a little heated. Just a little heated.
I think it was a lot, actually.
It was a lot. Water bottles are getting thrown. Doors are getting slammed. But we're live, and it's Friday, and it's Jenny Friday. And you know what? Jenny Friday, anything can happen on Jenny Friday.
That's true.
If you're a Taurus, see a florist. And if you're, if you're a Libra, we should be telling everybody what to do on Jenny Fridays.
Yeah.
We should do a horoscope.
We should.
Right?
Wait, what are you? What's your sign?
I am a Libra.
I'm a Libra too.
When's your birthday?
October 7th.
I am September 27th.
Ah.
A Libra.
We won't say what years.
I will say what year. I am very proud to say, I'm not so proud to say, it's actually very sad, but I will be 50 years old this year. I was born in 1968. So this year will be my 50th birthday on September 27th.
Exciting.
It is the year of the monkey.
Okay.
Whatever that means in China, but I'm told Chinese New Year was the year of the monkey. So on my 50th birthday, it will be the year of the monkey.
Amazing.
And talking about monkeys, Jenny Kim, there's an orange monkey in the White House. He's got orange hair. Or a clown. I don't know if he's a monkey or a clown. Who knows what he is. He fired H.R. McMaster, who was his national security advisor. And, I'm not really into, who the national security advisor is, except this new guy, John Bolton, okay? Let's hope his mustache is smarter than his brain, okay? It's the only thing we got going, that maybe there's something in that mustache that will put some sense into Trump.
It's unbelievable how many people
have been left. It's a revolving door.
He's been in office for how long now? It's
Like
been a little over a year.
Yeah, and this is what actually concerned me about this guy Bolton. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I mean, because we're an immigration show, so I wasn't even going to talk about it. Except he said to Trump, quote, "I won't start any wars if I'm selected. That's now what we're down to. Okay? We're down to a guy, all right? He won't start any wars.
That's what we have to look forward
That's what we have to look forward to. Hopefully he won't start any wars. I hope he won't start any more wars, and maybe he'll like negotiate also a little bit. You know, make friends with people. You know, we want somebody who's going to make friends. We don't want enemies, right? But his claim is, don't worry, I won't start any wars. Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's what we have to look forward.
Yeah. And now there's a military analyst on Fox News. And by the way, you can call right now. Our lines are wide open. Martin from Utica is on hold for about 12 minutes. We're going to get to you, Martin. Call right now, 1-800-529-5465. Wow, that guy on the right, McMaster, he has like a head similar to my shape. Right? That's the same shaped head as I have.
Brad, you have more hair than him.
I have more hair than him, but we have very similar shape. I don't look like him, but just the shape of the head, when it was like I was just looking on the screen, right? Me and McMaster have a similar shaped head. So there was a Fox News analyst who quit this week, and he said he quit because he said he believed that Fox degenerated from providing a legitimate and much-needed outlet for conservative voices to a mere propaganda machine for a destructive and ethically ruinous administration. Well, glad somebody at Fox realizes. Next story.
What's the next one?
The next story. Punxsutawney Phil is wanted.
Why is he wanted?
He's wanted. Sam the groundhog has brought this to my attention that Punxsutawney Phil is wanted out of Pennsylvania. There's a wanted poster for him because he was 6 weeks ago. Yep, Sam. There's Sam with the wanted poster for Punxsutawney Phil. He's the groundhog who comes out on Groundhog's Day, and unfortunately, his prediction of 6 more weeks of winter was a little off. You know, when I guess he's underground, he doesn't realize that there's something called global warming now. Okay? So where it's now 6 weeks of winter, could be 8 weeks of winter, 10 weeks of winter.
Man.
Everything's completely off.
Yeah.
You know, his defense is global warming. Okay? He's not aware of this underground. So now Pennsylvania, okay, the people in Pennsylvania who voted Trump into office are now mad that there's more winter. Why is there more winter? Because the people in Pennsylvania are mining for coal and causing all of this. And they're blaming poor Punxsutawney Phil.
It's the groundhog's fault.
It's not the groundhog, it's the greenhouse. It's the greenhouse gases, it's not the groundhog. I think he's got a really good defense. That's the end of that. And finally, before we get into our immigration calls, also in Pennsylvania, they're not doing well today, Pennsylvania.
No.
They are not doing well today. A school out in Pennsylvania, you want to hear the stupidest story of the day?
I would, yes.
A school out in Pennsylvania, the school superintendent has agreed to equip all of its classrooms with 200 rocks. God forbid there's a school shooter who enters the building.
Wait, so they're going to be throwing rocks at the
Throwing
shooter?
rocks at the school shooter. He says, we didn't want our students to be helpless victims. Riverstones was my idea, says Superintendent David Helsel. I don't know if I would be taking credit for that one. You know, excuse me, why did your kid get shot? Well, he stood up and threw a rock at somebody who had a machine gun. I mean, if the, high behind a desk, jump out. What is that going to do to a guy with a machine gun? Come on.
No, but what students are going to do is you get one student who's going to take the rock and he's going to throw it at another student.
Exactly. There's going to be more kids who get hurt throwing rocks at each other than there's going to, because they're all going to clown around.
Exactly.
David Helsel, I am telling you right now, David Helsel, okay, if this was in New York, you will be getting sued by somebody. Probably from Spar and Bernstein. Luckily, this is Pennsylvania. When some kid gets hurt, throwing rocks at another kid. It is so obviously unavoidable situations, but rocks, that is their protection.
That is the most absurd
idea. Of all of the things we could do, okay? Rocks in classrooms. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania, I hope the teachers are smarter than the superintendent.
Hope so.
That's all I can tell you. What else is happening? Craigslist is shutting down. We can talk about that another day. Engagement rings. We were talking about this off the
This
air.
is the most insane
Is
thing
this
I've ever
insane?
heard.
Is this insane? So now a new thing is, instead of getting the ring, you don't need the little thing that goes around your finger. They
Yeah.
just stick the rock right into your finger.
They embed it into your
embed
finger.
it into your finger. When the diamond is embedded, the artist makes the location with a pen. The location is cleaned and sterilized. A portion of the skin is removed from, this is what it is, from the customer's finger with a tool. This is, by the way, the new embedding of diamonds. The artist then inserts a gold or titanium anchor into the finger. The gem is mounted into the anchor. It costs $100. The diamond
cheap.
obviously costs more. Takes 10 minutes, and apparently your finger hurts for about 3 years.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it hurts for 3 years, but I would assume it's going to hurt for a very, very long time. And what happens when, you don't like this anymore? Okay, you know what? This diamond in my finger, I think I'd like to take it out. Guess what? You have a hole in your finger now.
Yeah, but look
it
at this
doesn't go
person.
away.
She has 3 holes now.
And she doesn't even have pretty fingers. She has like
Aw.
real stubby fingers. Why would you? That's not even nice hands.
Oh.
I don't know whose hand that is. Those aren't even nice hands. I mean, I don't know if I would want to be bringing attention to those hands.
People come up with the craziest
Craziest
things, but
ideas.
This is
right?
insane.
That reminds me when we were doing our website. They had this picture with these hands.
Okay.
And we must have went through about 20 different hands, and then finally the website person, we're going to change this picture, by the way. Finally the website person puts up the picture. This was recently. So if anybody saw, there was like a little change on our website.
Okay.
And the hand, it reminded me, there was one hand that was like a really hairy hand. Like the hand.
Was it your hand?
No, it was not my hand, but it looked like an ape hand.
Okay.
And I'm like, and it was like, supposed to be like 2 people shaking hands, like some trite, contrived picture of 2 people shaking hands, and like the people had like really hairy hands, and I'm like, I don't know if that's how I want our law firm to be portrayed, with like 2 hairy hands. So what I did was I had them take out the hair,
Airbrush the hair
off the hands. But we're going to change that picture. But if anyone goes to our website at lawsb.com, it's true. Maybe we'll change the picture with the diamond embedded hands now.
Yeah, you have to follow the trends, Brad. So.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, did you see Trinidad elected its first black woman president?
I did not see that. How very exciting.
She was sworn in. President Paula May Weeks. Congratulations to Trinidad.
Congratulations. That's very progressive.
Yeah, it's very progressive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, the United States of America has had no woman president.
Yeah.
Okay, no woman president at all. No black woman president, although everybody wants Michelle to run. Or Oprah. I don't know who. I don't know. I think those are the 2 big the 2 big people, right? Maybe we'll get Paula May Weeks. We'll get her a green card and make. Oh no, she wouldn't be able to anyway. She wasn't born in the United States.
Natural.
She
would be
a naturalized.
Yeah.
If you're a naturalized citizen, you can't do it. So she won, and congratulations to her. She says, "I can tell you that apart from feeling honored and humbled, I feel completely terrified, and that terror has not yet abated." Yeah. I think it would be terrifying to be a president anywhere.
Yes.
It's a really thankless job. It really is.
You can do no right because you're always going to be criticized.
Half the country hates you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, right? You
have
gotta
to
really
have very thick
skin. Thick skin.
Yes.
It's one thing about that orange monkey guy in the White House, right? He's got some thick skin. Nothing bothers this guy.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't
That's what it
care.
comes down to,
I mean, he
yeah.
has sex with porn stars while his wife's pregnant. He doesn't care. You know what's interesting about that, though, with the sex with the porn stars? He seems to be able to make angry tweets against everybody.
Okay.
How come he hasn't made an angry tweet against the porn star?
Because
Why?
Because if he does, he knows that he's going to be targeted, and if it's the truth, what's he going to say?
But why is he? But he makes an angry tweet against the prosecutor Mueller.
That's true.
Okay, who's prosecuting him? That would be the last person that I would want to piss off.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's very interesting. I don't know the reason. I just find it very interesting
That he hasn't said anything.
He hasn't said anything about this. He's never said one tweet. She's a liar. Nothing. But he can go after everybody else, his attorney general, the prosecutor. He's gone against every person. Think about it in the government.
He has,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, and he's gone against everybody. Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, think about all the people. Alec Ball. Think about everybody he's gone after. And now this woman comes out and says, not only did I have sex with Trump, I had sex with Trump in his homes. He wanted to buy me a home. I had sex with him while his wife was pregnant with his child.
Insane.
And he was terrible in bed. He was awful. He was the worst sex I ever had in my life, the woman said. And he hasn't said one word about this. I'm like shocked. Right?
I think that
What is up with that? What do you
smart
think?
of him. It's smart of him not to.
No, he's not that smart. There's something.
No, but it's gonna.
In other words,
yeah.
In other words, he tweets when his ego's hurt.
Okay.
His ego's got to be hurt. The woman said you sucked in bed.
I know, but what's he gonna say? Is he gonna admit it? Is he gonna deny it?
I don't know.
Say she's a complete liar?
But why? But I'm just surprised he hasn't tweeted about it yet. But he tweets about everything else.
Everything else. Every minute. He tweets.
Right. But now a second woman came out and said he said I love you.
They were in love.
They were in love. And he hasn't said one word. And then there was a third woman came out, the woman on The Apprentice. She's already started a lawsuit.
Wait, who's the woman on The Apprentice? I missed this one.
I'm sorry, who? Summer Zahos.
Okay.
And Summer Zahos says that he groped her and propositioned her back in 2006. She never brought an action.
Okay.
But then when she came out and said something in the 2016 election process, he called her out a liar during the election procce. And now she's sued him.
Oh no, I do remember reading about
She
this.
has
Yes.
She has sued him. She sued him for defamation of character. And so now that lawsuit's progressing. He's going to have to go take a deposition in New York State at some point.
I think he tried to make the argument that as the president, he was immune from any such lawsuit.
And he lost that.
And he lost that argument.
But I'm sure that's going to be out on appeal.
Yeah?
This is going to be appealed for a while now. So I wouldn't expect a deposition anytime soon. They could keep this in appeals
gonna be forever.
for years and years and years.
Lawsuits go
but
on forever.
He hasn't said anything about it.
Did you ever try tweeting him before?
I just find it something really interesting. That he even like Little Rocket Man. I mean, there's only two people he has never said anything bad about.
I think you should.
All the women who claim he had sex with them, Stormy, and they've said bad things about him, and Vladimir Putin. What's up with that? Vladimir Putin and Stormy Daniels are the only two people he's never had anything bad to say about. And his family, obviously.
And his family, of course, yeah.
There's Stormy.
Hi, Stormy.
Did you see the picture? I don't know if we have it or not, Jill. Did you see the picture? It was actually quite hilarious, the Stormy Daniels.
Which picture?
I don't know. We'll see if we can get it. She took a lie detector test.
And she passed, right?
Right, she passed. But they put the strap of the lie. Oh, that's the other woman.
lady, yeah.
Right. But they put the strap of the lie detector across her boobs. Now she has enormous chest. I mean, obviously they were enhanced by a very good plastic surgeon, okay? But when they put the straps across her chest, it was actually quite comical. I wonder if we could, maybe at some point in the middle of the show, we'll just throw it up there if we can find it on the internet. But
wait, so is there an argument to be made as a result of her chest size? That's, the lie detector test is not accurate?
I don't know. I mean,
know how it works.
does the lie detector test checks your blood pressure? Right. So is the silicone interrupting your blood pressure? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I have no idea. I would assume it doesn't. I don't know the answer to any of that, though. By the way, the telephone number, this is an immigration show. We started off with criminal. We've gone completely off course today. Started off with criminal when we're supposed to start with shoot the breeze. Now we're doing shoot the breeze, but I'm not even following my cards here. We're just really shooting the breeze here. And we're supposed to be now at 6:15 deep into immigration questions, which we're going to get to in a few minutes. I have yet to say hello to Brad Squad. All of whom have said hello to me. So hi, Brad Squad. It's way too many people now to go through. And by the way, I'd like everybody out there, if you haven't done so already, go to Brad Show Live if you're watching on Law Offices Spar and Bernstein, or you're even watching on Brad Show Live. And please like and follow our page and put us to the top, and that way you can be notified every time we come live. Other than that, you'll never be notified when we come live. So you go to Brad Show Live page, you like and follow, and because we get messages all the time. Everyone's go, how do I find you? How do I find you? I see these messages coming all day. So the answer is very simple. You like and follow Brad Show Live, you're going to find me every day whether you like it or not. Okay? That's as simple as that. And of course, share this with your friends and family, Because if you share this with your friends and family, then they can also share in the joy of the
continuous
Bradshaw
process,
Live.
yes.
All right, we have a new. By the way, we have a new logo for Bradshaw Live. Okay?
What's the new logo?
It's a new logo. We haven't brought it out yet. Our old logo was "Everyone has the right to the American dream," which is
Yes.
very nice. We like it. It makes sense for what we do. We want to help people. Okay, but now we have a new logo. We're not sure which one to go with.
Okay.
Okay, do we like everyone? And maybe we should ask the Brad
Yeah,
Squad.
why don't you ask the Brad Squad?
Okay. All right, so there's two choices. We've been going with so far, everyone has the right to the American dream, which I think is a nice logo. You have a right to the American dream. Makes sense. This is what we do. Yeah. We talk about people's American dreams. We help people to achieve their American dreams, whatever they may be. We help them maintain their legal status, get legal. We help them keep their rights here in America. We fight for them. We fight for the American dream. And what the American dream is, your happiness. You have a right to be happy and free and be left alone and do what you want to do. Now, we came up with a new one.
Which one? What is it?
Okay, which is completely different.
Okay.
All right, this is really right to the point. Okay, I mean, this like hits you right between the eyes what the show is about.
I'm anticipating.
Okay, come for the immigration, stay for the fun.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Immigration is
What?
fun. I
Yeah.
think immigration is fun.
Let's get a close up on me. Get up a close up on me here. Get a close up on me. Can we do that? Maybe?
No.
No. Can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, you don't have to get a close up. Just give me the camera on me. Just give me the camera on. There you go. You ready? Come for the immigration, stay for the fun. Come for the immigration, stay for the fun, or everyone has the right to the American dream. It's two different tones though, right?
Yeah, but Brad, when you're saying that, come for the immigration, stay for the fun, you need to do it with more fun, more pizzazz. So people are like, oh my gosh, immigration's fun.
Okay, let me try again.
You look too serious.
I'm too serious?
Yeah.
Okay, come for the immigration, stay for the fun. How's that one?
That was better.
Better?
Yeah.
Or come for the immigration, stay for the fun. Or, I mean, I get really, which one did you like the best? Or maybe the middle one. Or just I should be happy the whole time. Let's try one more time. Okay. Come for the immigration, stay for the fun.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do the viewers say? What does the Brad Squad
I have
say?
no idea. I'm doing a live show. I can't read this. But what we're going to do is we're going to get Belgium Kim, who we put back in jail today. Kimmy Kim. She's back in jail today.
What did she do?
Nothing. She's just, we put her back in jail. She'll be back here with Yo-Yo next week. You meet Yo-Yo yet?
I have not met Yo-Yo.
Yeah, Yo-Yo, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So when Yo-Yo's on here, okay, and it'll be Yo-Yo Monday. Okay, so on Monday it's going to be Yo-Yo Monday.
I like that Yo-Yo Monday.
Yeah, but right now it's Jenny Friday. On Jenny Friday, Kim goes back to jail. Jail's the social media room. She feels it's jail back there. She says, you keep me in jail back here. I said, well, on Fridays, that's where you belong. You belong in jail back there. Okay, so she's in the social media room checking up on everybody. Jenny's here. It's Jenny Fridays. We're going to be answering your immigration questions. And the telephone number to call to get your immigration questions answered is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. We have our entire team answering your calls, and they're going to put you on the show right now, unless, of course, the entire team left because we were screaming and yelling at each other right before the show started. So maybe nobody's working. I don't know. Maybe the cameras are on autopilot for all I know. What do I know? Right? 1-800. Fuck, imagine they just press play and they're like, bye. That's it. See ya. I don't know because they're in another room. 1-800-529-5465 is the number to call. What are angry faces coming across here for? Who would give us an angry face?
Wait, we can see who did the angry face.
Who did the angry face?
You can click on the angry face.
I would like to know who that angry face was.
Oh, no, I just did the angry face.
Oh,
sorry,
you did the angry face.
I only did one, so I don't know who did it before.
You shouldn't be angry about anything. By the way, you know who's in Jamaica right now?
Who's in Jamaica?
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you're buddies, right? Yeah. Aren't you friends with them?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Who isn't friends with them?
Yeah, so TMZ caught shots of Beyonce and Jay-Z doing a motorcycle tour through Kingston. And Jay's at the wheel. Jay-Z's driving. And Bay's hanging out behind him, rocking in the pink boots, you see, and the fishnet stockings. They're shooting a video for their upcoming Run 2 tour, and they were driving through, or cruising through is the term, Trenchtown, made famous by
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, who lived there and frequently sang about it, and there they are in Trenchtown. Right?
Yeah.
All right, 1-800-529-5465. There's more stuff here. We got to get to immigration. 1-800-529-5465. Martin in Utica, how are you?
Hey, well, go on, boss.
Hey, what's that?
Yeah, I got a question for you. I sent in an I-130 on the 6th, and they receive it on the... no, I sent in an I-130 on the 5th, and they receive it on the 6th. It was delivered on the 6th.
Of what? Of 6th of March? Of March?
6th of this month. Yeah,
6th of this month, okay.
This month, yeah.
Okay, so what's the
I
problem?
know I don't hear anything.
How do you know it was received? You sent it overnight mail or something?
Yeah, okay. I sent it overnight so they can get it.
It's taking about 4 weeks or so to actually receive receipt notices. So, we're still within the processing time. It's only been like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't overly worry about it. How'd you pay for it?
Yeah, I bought money order from the post office.
All right. So my suggestion is I agree with Jenny. Okay, she's a fantastic lawyer. I always agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay. Wait 4 weeks. If 4 weeks comes and goes and you haven't heard anything, trace the money order.
Yeah.
Make sure that money order was cashed by immigration. And then if it wasn't cashed, then you know you have a problem. But I think you should be okay.
Yeah, because I send thing like that already, and I get a text message within 6 days, 7 days.
Right.
You understand?
Text message.
So I don't know if
from the tracking company, the shipping company.
The shipping company. Got it. Okay. All right. So it's there. Yeah. Hang on, and you've sent it March 6th. Wait until April 6th.
No. Okay.
All right.
We'll finish with that. No, one more thing, and I can go.
Okay.
I filed for my 19-year-old son. How long would that take? I've sent in the I-130 already.
Where's your son?
Huh?
Where is your son?
Oh, in Jamaica.
And you're a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Were you married to the mom?
No.
Are you on the birth certificate?
Yeah.
When were you put on the birth certificate? This is like a tag team here. When were you put on the birth certificate?
When do what?
Do you put on the birth certificate at the time of birth?
Or later on?
Or later on?
Yeah. The time of birth.
Okay. Did you submit documentation that you were in you have a bona fide relationship with your son, that you're in your son's life? Did you submit anything to that?
For example, let's say Western Union slips.
I don't submit that yet. You understand? The last time I do that for one of my son, I have to do DNA to prove it.
Right.
You understand? So I don't reach there yet. I just get the receipt notice already.
Okay, so the answer is you're going to get an RFE.
Mm-hmm.
So usually RFE is a request for further evidence. You already know you're going to be getting it. So usually if you did everything up front, it would take a year, but maybe you'll be about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
That answers my question.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, 1-800-529-5465. Now, in the background, while we were on the phone with that first caller, okay, there was a woman came up with huge, enormous boobs.
All I saw was yellow.
Yellow. Let's see if we see that picture again. We have that picture. There she is. And that was the picture I saw. That's Stormy Daniels taking the lie detector test. It just was such a funny thing, right? Look at that. It's like popping out there.
I think the placement of the straps is what makes it
makes it so funny.
Yeah.
Right? It's hilarious. All right, let's go to immigration. We're done with Stormy Daniels now. I've never. Well, that's a whole other story. I've never seen her perform. I gotta Google her. And see her perform. Maybe I'm gonna do that this weekend.
Today's Friday night.
Friday night. It's a good night to Google her, right, and see her perform. I wonder if she's a good actress. I have no idea. You think she's a good actress?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. You don't know. You've never seen her perform either. I don't know. Nobody ever admits to seeing her perform. I go, you ever see her? Nobody ever see her.
I've actually read an article about her where she was performing at some sort of strip club in Long Island or something. And
she was performing before you at a strip club?
No, not before me.
Oh. You just read she was going to be.
Exactly.
Right.
And the audience members were complaining about how she was boring, essentially, and they weren't happy. But who knows? You let us know next week.
Wow, what goes around comes around, because she, excuse the pun, but she said Trump's boring. And now everyone's saying she's boring.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Shayna in Cumberland, Maine. Shayna?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Shayna.
I'm good. My husband, we're married for like 6 months now, but he's acting up and being abusive.
Aww.
I just don't know what to do anymore. I haven't started anything as yet. I'm confused. I just don't know what to do.
Jenny?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, first off, Shayna. But, ultimately what we would be concerned is your safety, of course. But, I'm assuming that you're looking to file for your green card?
Yes.
Is your husband a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay, so it is possible for you to go ahead and self-petition for a green card. What that means is that, you file a petition with immigration, essentially showing immigration that, you and your husband were in a bona fide, a genuine marriage, and that ultimately he was abusive. So it's possible for you to pursue the green card application on your own.
Okay, because I'm not living with him anymore because of the abusiveness.
Okay.
And I didn't report anything but my relatives. I spoke to them about it, so I'm living with my relatives at the moment, but I do have pictures of different abuse that he really did,
Yeah.
Well, we can certainly help you.
Most definitely.
Just because you didn't report him to the police doesn't mean this abuse didn't happen.
I think that majority of the clients that we've represented that I've actually
do not report anybody.
Don't, but that's the cycle of violence.
Yeah.
Victims don't report things to the
just
police.
because, what I was going to say is just because you weren't reported to the police doesn't mean this didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different ways to prove it. One of the best ways to prove it is your own testimony.
Exactly.
People who are credible, people who give a detailed account of what happened are generally believed. Okay, so so you're telling us these things happen. We believe these things happen if this is what you tell us. If you have a credible, detailed story, and then we're going to repeat it to the immigration service, and we're going to help you prove this. So hold on, and when we prove it, you're going to get a green card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. Okay, all right, hold on. We're going to help you. 1-800-529-5465. Jenny.
Yes.
Come this way. You're falling out of the picture. Very good.
More?
Stop. Nope.
Good?
Very good. Very good now. All right. 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call to get on our show, to have your immigration questions asked and answered. 1-800-529-5465. By the way, Denisha John told me, Brad, I'm just reading here. She says, Brad, leave the orange man's leftovers alone. Okay? So I laughed a little bit while
That's why you were laughing.
That's what I laughed at. And so I don't want anyone to think I was laughing at this woman's story, because obviously it's very, sad and serious thing when somebody is abused. And I was listening to her story. I just happened to glance down and I saw what Denisha said. And by the way, she's not only the orange man's leftovers, apparently she's everybody's leftovers, right? Right? I mean, whose leftovers isn't she, right? All right, so let's go to Tina in Brooklyn.
Hi, good evening. Good evening.
Hi, Tina.
I have a quick question. Somebody told me that if I should put in my application for my citizenship, I would not be able to travel out of the United States until everything is finalized. Is that true?
That is incorrect.
Wrong. Not correct. Not correct.
This is an example of where somebody actually gets misinformation from somebody else, and then it creates issues.
Correct.
But that is not correct at all. Just because your application for citizenship is pending does not mean that you can't travel.
Okay, awesome.
Now I will say this. Just remember, just remember that when you're doing your citizenship, just like with your green card, you can't stay out of the country for more than 6 months at any time. And you got to make sure that up to the day you become a citizen and swear in, that you count backwards 30 out of the last 60 months you were physically in the United States. So yes, travel, it's not a problem, but just keep in mind, don't go on extended trips for 6-9 months.
Oh, no. I have to work.
2, 3, 4 weeks max, okay? That way you don't screw up your citizenship.
Okay.
All right, what do you do?
Thanks a lot.
What type of work do you do?
I take care of the elderly.
Okay,
That's
wonderful.
My passion.
It's a very good job. Okay?
Yes,
Very
it
noble
sure
job,
is.
very difficult
It's
job.
very hard, and it's sad to watch somebody. You know, you end up starting to care for some of these people
most
because you have a good
definitely. You create
you end
a
up having a
bond.
bond and a relationship. So and it's hard work. So thank you. Eventually,
Thank you so much.
I'm turning 50. I'm going to, 20, 30 years from now. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have Tanisha John come and take care of me. I don't know. How old is Tanisha? I don't know. Maybe I'll take care of her. I have no idea. All right, 1-800-TAMIKA, baby. Tamika Nelson, one of the Brad Squad. I think that's what she does as well. She takes care of elderly people as well. A lot of our Brad Squad people
Yes,
do that.
a lot of them do. A lot of our clients.
All right, so 1-800-529-5465. See how we know everything about everybody? In this world, in this modern world, we know everything about everybody.
It's a little scary,
right?
in all
It's so
honesty.
easy to find out everything about everybody now. You know, we were just talking about it the other day. No, it wasn't the other day. It was this afternoon.
Okay.
Remember the Unabomber?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this was this guy, Ted Kaczynski. He was living out in the woods, okay, and then he would drive for 16 years every so often. He would drive out of the woods, go to a mailbox like 1,000 miles from his little cabin in the woods, put a bomb in the mail, somebody would open it, and kaboom. And he called himself the Unabomber. Nobody knew who he was,
How
where
long
he
did it
was.
take for him
Took
to
him
get
like
caught?
15, 16
Yeah.
years to be caught. Okay, now, okay, this bomber in Austin, Texas, what was it, like 10 days, 12 days, they caught him. Why? Because there's so many more cameras.
Yes.
The world is wired with cameras, with internet. I mean, he walked into a FedEx facility. How stupid is that? There's cameras everywhere. There's cameras in parking lots. There's cameras
There's
everywhere.
cameras in the streets.
There's cameras in the streets
Yeah.
every time you go through a red light. Think about it. Okay? They're watching everywhere now.
They are watching.
They are watching everywhere. It's a different world, so everybody can. Yeah, that's the guy. All right, and obviously, we feel bad for what a dumb bomber. Okay, just a dumb bomber. He walked into the FedEx facility. Of course, he's being,
He didn't think that he would get caught, I guess. He was,
I don't know.
careless. Who knows? Maybe he wanted to get caught.
But we were just talking about that. You know whose theory that was? That was Julie Bean's theory.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Julie
She thinks
Bean.
that he wanted to get caught?
No, that it's a different world now. You can't go and indiscriminately bomb for 16 years like Ted Kaczynski
No,
was able
you
to
can't.
do just because of all the cameras and everything. We were just talking about
Not
that.
just the cameras, but there's DNA. They
Yeah.
can track all your packages, whatever
Social
you
media.
buy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on now. All right, 1-800-529-5465. We're going to get to Belgium Kim. She's in jail. She's dying to come into this show, because it's now almost 1 hour into the show. We haven't seen or heard yet from Belgium Kim. So she's having a heart attack back there. I know in her. All right. So just to make her squirm a little more.
Oh, on
All right.
purpose.
Just to make her squirm just a tiny bit more. I'm going to ask two things of people. One, please share this with your friends and family. Let them know that Belgium Kim is coming up. Kimmy Kim is there. She is right there. You see her?
Hi.
She's going to be coming up in about 5 minutes or so. And all of your immigration questions that you put on Facebook, she's going to ask of us.
Okay.
But first, we had an opportunity to meet a gentleman by the name of Kahim Archer. He's an Haitian artist, and he spoke to us about his parents' immigration to the United States and his immigration dream. If you want to visit his art, it's really cool art. But if you want to see what he does, you go to karcherart.com. Let's watch this.
We're all different, and I think that's a big reflection of my art. It's just that balance that, I can be blue and she can be red, but there's some type of equality within it. It's like we both kind of seem to fit in the same places, just reverse roles. It's just love. I control what love is for me, and to me, love is my work. My name is Kahim Archer, and I am an artist. I make my living being an artist. I'm known for doing portraits. So my day-to-day probably entails like going to some party or event or hopping on some train or chilling at some cafe and kind of like capturing the people and the environment around me, whether I'm being asked to or not. It's been my way to kind of share my talent with the people. And then, but long before that, I've always been painting and drawing. Art was my home education. It was the way my father kind of taught us his life, his culture. I grew up with about 6 siblings. He taught us a little music. He taught us like his talents, his like, look at the little things I can draw. Let me see if you can do it. Before you can actually put together words, we was like putting together images on paper with our, parents at the dinner room table. I'm Haitian American, but both of my parents came from Haiti. They came for similar reasons, for better life, for different version of a life. My father came more so for like education, so he came with his brothers. He left his mother. They were supposed to like create opportunities here and send back for her. She passed away shortly after. My mom, she came into like another family that wasn't really hers, and she's a lot younger, so she's like, rushing to get out that house and get out that situation. Haiti is a very unstable place. Their conditions are so rough. Their conditions are so harsh. So when they come here, it's like they look at it as like a luxury. And I think that's what it means to be an immigrant for me. Like, I don't have that experience of it being so rough and so but I have that spirit in me passed on to my parents, and they were immigrants in New York. My mom was doing hair, my father was driving taxi here and there, so it's always been that type of energy in my house where people are creating new ways, and it's also been a place where it was communal. I lived in a Haitian building. I lived in a building with a bunch of people from the same culture, from the same neighborhood, so it was like an open door policy kind of. So I've juggled the needs of like my society and my people and my family and my friends. I ended up studying graphic design and advertising, and then I went and worked for the city. The last year working for them, I had a mentor where I didn't agree with the politics, collected unemployment, became an artist. It took me a while to stop complaining about the things that I didn't like and start creating a plan for the things that I did. After the unemployment, I would do artwork, I would bring it out to shows, try to sell it that way. I did one really big show called Colored, and it was the first pieces were literally people that I admired. I've had memories where people have fed me, took me off the train. Money's cool, but it's just like, it's cool to see the want and the need and the like desire for something. Having that challenge of trying to get the seller, just trying to get their attention or just trying to catch them before they miss their stop. I became addicted. That's all I needed. I think colors also play a deep part. I've watched in people. Everyone has their favorite colors. Everyone has their things that they tend to. It's like a spiritual language. Everything with me is black and white, and sometimes so much more complicated than that. So I'm just a very colorful person. I want to see the bigger picture. I keep on trying to zoom out, and that's what my art is. It's a showing of the repetitiveness of when you're zooming out. You just think in light speed when I'm thinking in colors. The patterns, the repetition is beautiful. I painted a lot of faces. I would go home, look at my Instagram, see how many people tag me. It's fun to get up close and have the subject appreciate you and itself, and it's just a bouncing around of energy. It's like you do the work, you share it, you do the work, you share it. I guess my family coming here and their story and their history in Haiti and in America and the path they laid down and the routes that they've taken, it's given me a love and acceptance and an understanding for everything that they've done. So that fashions you. My American dream is to be able to create and do as I please to kind of sustain myself and my family and their future. Art, to me, it's like, I think the future is just purposing it. Like right now, I found a way to make people smile at parties and events. I found a way to decorate people's environments and homes and stuff like that. And I think my motto or my mission is to do that in such a way where it frees people. It's all about freedom at the end of the day.
All right, that was actually really cool art.
Kahim is amazing.
Yeah. Jenny goes, I want him to do my picture. Yeah. Can you do my picture? Can you have him come in and do my picture? By the way, Jenny just totally saved me. T-Bone and Lucky, my dogs.
Poor T-Bone and Lucky.
Poor T-Bone and Lucky. I forgot. It was mean of me because I walked them this morning. I left food for them, and usually I have a dog walker come.
During lunch or no?
What? No. I usually have a dog walker come around 2, 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot to call the dog walker. So now they've been sitting in the apartment all day unwalked. Oh. So luckily, through the magic of cell phones, I was able to do it while we were watching that. So T-Bone and Lucky, if you are watching, my dogs, sorry. But you know what? I think the joke's going to be on me because they probably left me a present. Right? When I get back to my apartment, there'll be a little present for me there. Say, aha! You forget about me. This is what we do. Right?
They're going to say, I hope you learned your lesson.
I hope you learned your lesson. All right, 1-800-529-5465. We're going to get to Watson in Burlington, Vermont. And right after that, we're going to go to Kimmy Kim Kim. Watson in Burlington, Vermont. How are you?
This is the best show in the world. What's up, y'all?
Oh, thank you. What's happening?
And y'all, you know what time it is. I just have a question behalf for my friend. Actually, he's a green card holder, but he got some issue. But he got his mom and his dad. He got the visa 5 years. But you know, man, sometimes some people don't want to stay in the country. Sometimes for some issue. But you wonder, I can let them. They are 50 years old already, so you wonder if he can let them stay here until he got his citizenship, or if he can apply for them for something, asylum or something like I don't know. So what is the process it can be done?
So the parents are here. The son's not a citizen yet. They've been here for 5 years. They're anxious already.
No. They have a 5-year visa.
Oh, they have a 5-year
yeah,
visa.
so they have a visitor's visa.
Okay, now you don't want to. I mean, unless there's a real claim for asylum, if their life's in danger because they belong to a political group or some other social group, of course, apply for asylum when you come. But don't just come and apply for asylum just for the purpose of staying. You're gonna end up getting deported.
Yes.
Okay. How many years has the son had a green card?
He's gonna have it for 2 years, but he got some issues, so it could be like 2 more years or 3 more years.
What kind of issues does he have?
I talked before, Brad. So it's about the guy who got the problem with his girlfriend, his wife. So he got arrested. So.
All right.
We don't want to talk about.
All right. So we don't want to talk about it on the air. I think the best bet is let that guy call us and have a consultation, and then we could also talk about the parents and see what we can do to help. All right. But don't have him just come visit and file for asylum unless there's really a good claim. So hold on 1 second, okay? All right. Best show though. 1-800-529-5465. We're now 1 hour and 15 minutes into the show.
It goes by so quickly.
Kimmy Kim Kim is yet to be seen or heard from.
Oh.
Belgium Kim, Antsy, she's been pacing back and forth, waiting to come on. What do you think we should do?
I think we should have her wait.
You should. Wow, you are mean. But there's all these people out there with their immigration questions. Don't we want to answer them? She's the one.
Of course.
She's the. All right, we're gonna not be mean to Kimmy Kim Kim. Where is Kimmy Kim Kim? Hello. There she is. There she is.
Hi, Kim.
Jenny, I'm gonna remember that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you. You got to speak closer to the microphone, I think.
Yeah. Do I need to speak up a bit?
Maybe,
yes,
or maybe I should just put my volume up. How about now? Talk now.
That might help you.
Yeah,
Is
talk
that
now. Now.
Better?
No.
Better.
No.
Better?
No.
Better?
No.
Can
No.
you hear me now?
No. Still terrible. But maybe it's just our equipment. Hopefully everybody else can hear you. We'll struggle through it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. You know, the people have spoken about a tagline, Brad.
And I'll tell you before you say it. Is there a like beyond unanimous?
Yes.
Okay.
What is
now? I will before you say it.
Okay.
Okay, Jenny, you have a pen.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Oh no, I see a pen right over here.
Okay, I'm going to ask Jenny because she told me what she thinks it should be, and she felt very adamant about it. So, Jenny, if you can, on the back of this paper, which I do not need anymore, okay, write which one you think it should be.
Okay.
One second.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
While Jenny's writing, a little music maestro. Maestro, a little. No, that's a drum roll. We want it da 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 da. No, we can't do that.
That's copyrighted, Brad.
What? No, that's copyrighted. There we go. So there we go. There we go. All right, wait, don't show yet. Don't show yet. All right, stop the music. Start the music. Let's see if we got it now. Stop. Start. Stop. Okay, now they're on it. Okay, I just want start. Stop!
Oh man, Brad.
All right, what did everybody want? What did everybody want?
Everybody wanted American Dream.
Da-da-da-da, American Dream.
And Jenny said American Dream too.
Jenny was right.
Wow, that is very, very surprising.
Are you surprised by it?
Yes. I thought come for the immigration, stay for the fun was a good one. But everybody you know what Jenny said? You want to know why I like American Dream? You tell. I don't have to repeat what you said. Why?
Well, I just feel as if it tells
my pen just
our
went flying.
story and what we stand for and what it is that we do here at Spar and Bernstein. That's why I like it. And it's right. Everyone has a right to an American dream.
I agree. I like the fact that it applies to all the departments within the firm. It's not even just immigration, you know? Like, I do like that. I do like that. I don't know. I was a come for the immigration girl. I was. I'll say it.
She was voting come for the immigration, stay for the fun. But but then again, Belgium Kim's all about fun, right? She's got fun written all over her face.
That's true.
All right. So what do we got in terms of immigration questions?
Immigration questions.
Yes.
We've got a Conby who says, is it true that it's faster if you file for your citizenship online than sending in mail? I've had people who said that they filed online and that they get called faster for an interview.
Jenny?
No.
Have you ever seen such a thing?
No, I haven't.
But it just if you file online, you know what happens? Immigration receives it faster.
Yeah, because it's right there.
Because it's done that moment, like that, versus in the mail, snail mail. Okay, but we don't see much of a difference.
No.
Denisha says, if someone is successful in the diversity lottery, could a lawyer still handle their case?
Yes.
Yes.
And I've done it before as well. We've done it before.
We've done it plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to repeat whatever Jenny says. She
That
goes, yes, I go, yes!
It's like a 10-second delay with what Jenny said. Ahmed says, my ex-wife falsely accused me of domestic violence. And I got a disorderly conduct 2420 in June of 2013.
2420.
Penal law
24. Oh, okay.
20.
All right. 240-20 in
New York.
In 2420, penal law 2420, disorderly conduct. Got it now.
Mm-hmm.
In
June of 2013.
June of 2013.
June of 2013. He got a 2040 in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So
on April 20th. Which isn't April 20th like it's like
it's April 20th.
Isn't 420 like that's like your
I hear my friends say that it's a stoner holiday.
It's a stoner holiday.
That's what I
you know how uncool I am because everybody says I'm 420 and it's real and I'm like, wait, isn't
What's
April
that?
20th? What is that? That's how uncool I am. Okay, continue.
So he didn't get any jail time from it. And then he got married in 2015, got a conditional green card in May of 2016. The officer looked at the court disposition and said, no big deal. So I filed my I-751 on March 1st of this year and got an I-797, and I'm now waiting for my biometric letter.
Are you serious with that question? You have said every possible number and every numerical combination.
Wait, but what's his question?
What's the question?
So,
by the way, the only people who understand this question are him and me and Jenny. Everybody else was like, we lost on all these numbers, but we get it. So we're just gonna talk to him. What is the question?
Basically, what he's really afraid of is that he's gonna be eligible for citizenship in February of next year, and he's afraid that this disorderly conduct charge is going to come back and bite him in the butt when he files.
No, he'll be able to file the N-400.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do everything in numbers now. 1040, buddy. You're good.
Kim, based on what you're saying, this guy does not have anything to worry about in terms of filing for citizenship. First off, the disorderly conduct conviction happened before he got his green card. It was already disclosed. Even if it happened, after he got the green card, right before his citizenship, he's supposed to file for citizenship. We've had a lot of success where if it's the only arrest and it's within the 5-year statutory period in which you're supposed to show good moral character, immigration officers will understand that things happen. And it might be possible, we can't make any promises, of course, as to whether it's going to be guaranteed or not in terms of, being approved, but it's most definitely possible. So this guy, he's good.
Whatever she said.
That's awesome
No,
news.
he's absolutely fine. Disorderly
Yeah.
conduct won't be a problem.
No.
It happened before he got his conditional green card. He's basing it on 3 years good moral character. It happened more than 3 years ago.
Fine.
He's fine.
Oh, I love it when we can give good news to
Yeah,
people.
yes.
Tina says, "Good evening, guys. Is it true that once I apply for my citizenship, I can't travel until I've received my
No,
citizenship?"
we already answered that
Oh, I
question.
think this is the same Tina that called in.
Yeah, she called in. She's fine. We answered that one.
I thought so. Carlene said, "Could you give me a little bit of information on what SIJ cases are?"
Special immigrant juveniles. It's for children under the age of 21 who at least one parent abandoned them, neglected them, injured them, abused them, and then another adult who's living in the United States goes into family court, goes to a family court judge and says, this child should not be with at least one of the biological parents. I'm now going to become their legal guardian. And not only am I going to become their legal guardian, I'm going to ask you, Judge, that to issue a ruling from the bench in family court that it's not in this child's best interest to be reunited with at least one of the parents because of abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Now, Trump and his people are starting to get difficult on SIJ cases, and what they're saying is if between 18 and 21 you can't do it anymore, they've been denying them lately. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen that, yes.
Okay,
They're
I
making
think
it difficult.
I'm hitting the BS button on that.
Right.
Okay, I think those all are going to be overturned, so that's why I still say 21 or under.
That makes
And
sense.
then
We should
once you
have
get the guardianship, by the way, once you get the guardianship,
Yeah.
you can file right away for your green card. It's
For the green
actually
card, yeah.
guardianship takes like 90 days. It's so much faster than doing an adoption of a child.
Oh, wow. That's
So
so
every child who has been abandoned by at least one parent, one biological parent, and they're under 21, should have an adult bringing them to family court to become their legal guardian. It doesn't even have to be an adult. It could be the other parent, the other mother.
Yeah, the
Or the
children
father,
are
right?
living in the U.S.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
have,
Yeah.
they don't have a green card.
So let's say a
They're on
mom
maternity,
comes to the
yeah.
United States with their child, and dad's back in another country. Dad abandoned this child. Dad hasn't seen this child in years. The mom could bring the child in to do it. And it doesn't matter.
And
Certainly in New York, no one's asking the mom about her immigration status.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Rudy says, "I'm a British citizen and I entered the U.S. legally in 1989. I got married to a citizen in New York in 1995, but did not receive the letter for my adjustment of status because I moved, so I was put into deportation. I now have an approved I-130 through my daughter, but I still have a deportation order against me since 2006. Can I go ahead and still get my green card, and can you help?"
Yeah, Jenny, I'm going to have to ask you to ask because I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, okay.
What was the question?
The question was, Rudy came into the U.S. on a visa waiver, okay, from England, it sounds like, in the 80s. He filed a marriage
This is
case
like
green
telephone.
card.
Rudy asked him. Ask Jenny. And I'm having trouble. I don't hear anything in my thing.
You didn't hear anything?
No, I don't hear anything now. Sorry. Just a little like gargling. I'm only hearing gargling. I've said that earlier in the show too.
Yeah.
It's coming
So
back now.
ultimately, Rudy
Yeah.
ended up with a deportation order as a result of failing to attend the interview. His wife had filed a green card for him.
Right.
Sponsored him for a green card, so he ended up with a deportation order. Now he has an approved I-130 petition filed on his behalf by his daughter, and he's wondering if he's going to be able to get his green card. It sounds like he has an in absentia order, if anything, because he mentioned that the reason that he wasn't able to go on the green card interview was because he never received notice because they had moved. So if that's the case,
He's got to reopen his deportation case
yeah, it's possible
first.
to reopen his deportation case if he didn't receive notice, and then he can get his green card that way.
In absentia orders, can only be opened if you have a constitutional law violation. Okay, meaning in absentia order means you didn't show up to your hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's not. Now, what is a constitutional law violation? The most obvious one is I'm entitled to a fair hearing. It's not very fair if you don't know when and where to show up. So if immigration says your hearing's on May 1st, but they never tell you it's on May 1st, and they just go ahead without you, which happens more often than not.
Yeah.
It's not very fair to you not to know where to show up to when, how to defend yourself. So those are what's called in absentia orders that can be reopened. Let's do this. Let me see if I can at least hear the telephone calls, Kim. And we still got to speak to Anna.
Poor
Kimmy. And we have to speak to Anna Banana. Aww. And then we're going to see if we can fix, while we speak to Anna Banana, we'll see if we can fix my hearing aid. Okay, apparently I have a hearing aid. I don't really have a hearing aid, but maybe whatever's in my ear we'll try to fix. All right, so let's go to Semphis in Virginia. Semphis.
Yes, please.
I don't hear Semphis either.
Oh, you don't hear
Why don't you
Semphis
speak to Jenny?
Hi, Semphis.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I like you. I see you are very more strong woman in law.
Oh, thank you. He says he likes me. I'm a very strong woman in law, Brad.
You are a very strong woman in law.
What's your question, Semphis?
Yeah, please. I got my green card get missing. I couldn't get missing, so I applied for another one.
Okay.
And I do the fingerprint and the photo.
Okay.
They take me and now I'm waiting for I haven't received it yet. And
are you applying for a replacement green card, Semphis, the I-90?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
when did you file it?
I filed it in October.
Of 2017?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so what we've noticed here at Spar and Bernstein is, prior to Trump coming into office, it was taking immigration about 6 months to go ahead and process these applications and mail you the actual green cards. Now we're looking at closer to 10 to 12 months for processing times. So that's why you haven't received it as of yet. But when you went for biometrics, they should have given an extension stamp in your old green card. Did they do that?
Yeah, they do that, but I applied for a job and I'm going to a job, and now they say that the way they give me they don't believe it, like it's fraud. The stamp is like fraud.
So what you can also do is, while the I-90 or the application to replace your green card is pending, you can go into your local immigration office with your valid passport and ask them to put a stamp in your passport as proof that you're authorized to work and you can travel and that you're a green card holder. And generally that's valid for a year.
Yeah, they give me some when I'm in the Florida, but now the work that I'm doing said they don't trust that stamp.
The employer said they don't trust that stamp. Can you hear, Brad?
I hear, and Tamika's like, Brad, we hear you. Yeah, sorry, Tamika. All right, so what's the problem now? I'm now hearing.
Okay.
I hear everybody else now for the first time today.
Okay, so Semphis, what he's saying is that he followed all the proper channels. He's a green card holder. He needs to go ahead and file for a replacement green card, which he did. He has an I-90 pending since October of 2017. He has a new employer. He has a stamp in the passport as well that shows that he's a permanent resident. He has this employer who won't accept the stamp for employment purposes because they think it's fraudulent.
Well, he can also, when you do the I-9 verification, there's no requirement that says you have to show the green card. You can check off the box to say I'm a green card holder and put your alien registration number and bring your driver's license and social security number as well. Okay?
Also, the employer's they're not allowed to tell you what documents you need to present.
What I would say, right, and they can't tell you which exactly. Not only can they not tell you, but if you bring in on its face a valid document, that protects the employer. And by the way, if they prevent you from working after bringing in a valid document, guess who is getting sued? The employer for immigration violations.
And all that, it could also be a discrimination suit
Absolutely.
as well.
So what I would suggest to you is, if you go back to the employer on Monday and say, here's my driver's license, here's my social security card, and here's the stamp of my passport, this is my alien registration number, these are all the documents that I require to go work legally and show you. And if they still say no, they won't hire you, now you have an employment discrimination case against them.
Yeah, they apply me and I start working. And today they told me that I should go and bring the green card. They want to see the green card, physical
Yes, but
green
the
card.
green card's still being manufactured
being
by
processed.
in process. Did you show them your driver's license and social security card?
I show them. I
Then
don't
that's
have driving
all-
license.
that-
I
that
show
is
them my
all-
ID,
that is
my ID
all-
and my social security.
That is all that you are required to do. Okay? So I would go in there and say, hey, I spoke to a lawyer. A lawyer said when I fill out the I-9 form, and you can even show them our show. Okay? We're at about the 1.5 hour mark of our show. Just pull out their Facebook page because it's saved. Okay? So you say, I spoke to a lawyer and this is what he has to say. You're only required to show a driver's license and a social security number and provide an alien registration number. If you have a valid driver's license and a valid social security number and you give on its face what appears to be a valid alien registration number, the employer has to hire you. And if they don't, they are subject to employment discrimination lawsuit. They've discriminated against you. Point blank.
Yeah, they said that the stamp that they give me, they use red pen to write it, so anyone
what?
can.
Immigration,
write.
but immigration officers
And-
always write with a
So
red
what?
pen. Yeah.
Yeah, and they seal
So
it.
that
They have sealed it.
So what I am
They
telling
have
you again, okay, is you go in there and what you say, again, let me repeat it. You go in there and say, I spoke to a lawyer. A lawyer said to fill out the I-9 verification, the stamp in the passport, a social security card, and a driver's license is more than sufficient. And if you believe this is a fake stamp and you will not employ me, the next letter you will receive is not a letter from immigration, but from my lawyer suing you because now you are preventing me from working illegally.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So today they let me come home. I went to the work, and today they said no, I should bring letters from the immigration prove that the stamp is invalid.
What sort of work do you do, Semphis?
Yeah, they said I should come home.
So they sent him home. Yeah.
Semphis, what kind of work do you do?
I apply for picking. I do warehouse work.
I don't hear
warehouse
work.
Yeah.
Warehouse work. What's wrong with this thing today?
Yeah, I don't know why they're
Yeah.
giving you such a hard time, Semphis,
Yeah.
because it sounds as if you're
you should
doing
be able,
everything
You should
properly.
be able to work
yeah.
without a problem. All right. If they don't hire you back on Monday, you come see me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
You're in Maryland. You call us on.
Yeah, call
okay.
us for a consultation.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Our Miami correspondent, Jenny, Anna Ascona, she's our Miami field correspondent. She interviewed Alejandro Angie, okay, about his transition from becoming a musician to a sociology professor.
Oh, that's an interesting
And
transition.
he has a very cool immigration story from Colombia. Let's watch.
Hey friends from the Brad Show Live, I'm Anna Ascona. Today I'm here with Alejandro Anje. He's a sociology professor at Miami-Dade College. Thank you so much for joining us today, Alejandro.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's it like being a professor?
Well, it's quite rewarding to have to teach rowdy teenagers after they left high school.
How do you manage
kidding.
that?
It's fun. It's fun. It's actually very rewarding. They come to the university at a time when they're beginning to question everything about the world, and so I think it's a fantastic time for like an individual's growth, and I get to be part of that.
So you were a musician before. Where did this transition all happen? Like, where do you come from being a musician to now being a professor?
I think part of it was we used to sing like this kind of angry songs about society and the world, and actually, very much related to this interview, we used to make songs about immigration and the way immigrants were treated when they come to the United States, right? We're kind of like rebellious. Yeah. And so at some point I found sociology, which kind of can link a lot of these things or it seeks to answer a lot of these things about inequality in our society. And so it may have looked like a great fit at the time.
All right, so speaking about immigration, can you tell us a little bit about your immigration background? Where are you from? At what age did you come to the United States? Or did you come to the U.S. first?
Yeah, I was born in Colombia. I was about 12, 13 years old when the decision was made for me to come to Miami. and I've been here ever since. I've lived for short stints of time outside of Miami, but only a couple of times. But I always end up coming back here.
And what made your parents want to leave their homeland to come to the States?
That's an interesting story. My mother passed away when I was 9, and my father remarried right away almost. And so I was left to the care of my older siblings. And one of them had this vision of the U.S. as the promised land in a way, right? Kind of like in very biblical terms. And he came back in 1978, and little by little started bringing all of the brothers one by one, or the sisters. And I got here in 1990.
And adapting to a new environment, a new culture, what are some challenges you faced?
Ooh, so many. From the basic ones, right? The ones that most people might complain about, food and language, to I was undocumented for many years. So it was quite difficult because it's, you can't work, you can't go to school, you can't do fulfill a lot of the aspirations that you had set out in life. And so I think that was the most difficult part for me.
For how long were you undocumented in the States?
Wow. So I got here when I was 12 with a with a tourist visa that I overstayed. I was able to change that to a student visa. Prior to 9/11, the tax of 9/11, it was fairly simple to get a student visa. You can get it here in the country. And so we did that, but that expired when I finished high school. And so it took me about 3 or 4 years, more or less, to be able to get my residency and go back to college.
So you're a sociology professor. Obviously, I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts on immigration, like everything that's going on right now with Trump, the DACA, like all the social issues happening right now that revolve around immigration? What are your thoughts?
It's sad. I think one of the biggest issues is where the rights of human beings end and begin when they cross a politically demarcated border, right? And so one of the things that we're seeing with the Trump administration is a total disregard for undocumented immigrants' civil rights, right? Because some people are beginning to argue that they're not protected under the Constitution since they're not U.S. citizens, and so we can avoid a lot of due process. And this is worrisome, right? This is basically bringing a group of people to a second-class citizenship, to a different social status than regular citizens. Immigration status, that on its own constitutes a crime nowadays, right? So yeah, it's problematic. And also, a lot of the Latino population does not have the resources or the know-how to deal with the American legal system.
Well, before we leave, what advice can you give to those that are watching, that are in search of the American dream, that are already here trying to pursue the American dream?
Yeah, not to give up. That's my advice, right? It takes time, and I think we're all being dealt a different set of cards. And it's important to recognize what set of cards you were given and fight that battle. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes, you have to have 2 or 3 jobs, and that might mean you can't go to school. But you gotta keep on doing it. You gotta keep on keeping on, right? You guys just gotta keep on pushing.
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Even when you're in the most uncomfortable situation, keep it going.
Yeah. You might see the results down 10, 15 years, like me and my family did, but they're worth it at the end of the day.
Well, thank you so much, Alejandro, for joining us. Can you please give a shout out to the Brad Show Live?
Hi, this is Alejandro from Miami, and thank you for the Brad Show Live for having me here.
All right, Anna Esconer, our Miami field correspondent. We have Tina in Orange County, California. Tina.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask about my sister about her status right now.
Okay.
Because her status is he got married and then they applied for removal for what we call this?
To remove the conditions of your permanent residence, to go from the 2 to the 10
and then they have reviewed, so she wants to go review, and then she wants to go back to the Philippines, and I don't know how can we do that one because
she wants to go back to live in the Philippines, or she wants to go to travel. Okay, so when she filed to remove the conditions of her permanent residence, they mailed her a letter saying that her work and travel authorization is extended 1 year. Does that work? That it's been past a year now?
No, because we didn't renew the green card.
Oh, you did not do it. How long ago were you supposed to do it then? I misunderstood the question.
I thought that she said that her sister did it, actually.
That's why, yeah. So, all right, let's start again. Your sister has a 2-year green card, and she has to go and file to remove the conditions. Did she do that? Did she make that? She did. When did she make that application?
Because renewal for 10 years, right?
Right. When did she do that?
Last year, and then.
Wait. Let me just ask the question so I can get to the bottom of this. So she filed to do this last year. When she did it, she filed it with her husband. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when she filed it with her husband, she paid the proper fee, and immigration sent her back a receipt notice. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay. So on that receipt notice that she filed last year, it says, we received your application. It also says your green card and your travel and your work is extended for 1 year. Does she have that letter? Because it's on that receipt.
Yes, but it's already expired.
Okay, so it's more than a year ago. So then what she needs to do is go online to uscis.gov.gov. Make sure you go to gov, not .com. And you make a InfoPass appointment to go down to your local immigration office, and they'll put a stamp in the passport to allow her to travel to the Philippines and return while she's still waiting on the case.
Okay, wow, sounds great.
All right, so that's what you do. And if you have a problem doing that, just have a consultation with us, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Oh yeah, wow! So wonderful that we know that we can go to the immigration and ask about
right, and they'll put a stamp in the passport, and the stamp in the passport will allow her to travel.
Oh, okay. Wow, it sounds great.
All right, wow. It's that easy. Trust me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Show.
You're very welcome. Tell your friends to watch.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching my Facebook, and then I like, and then now I receive. Oh my, what was so wonderful! Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Hold on, if you need help.
Your show. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Now that I can hear well, let's find Kimmy Kim. I know she has a lot of questions, and we only got about 15 minutes to go.
Gotta run through them.
We gotta run through them quickly. Hello!
Hello!
Kimmy Kim.
Wait, why is Kim pointing at you?
I don't know. Why are you pointing at me? She's just mad at me.
Okay.
Yeah, she's used to more FaceTime. She didn't get the FaceTime today.
I'm not only am I back in jail, but I'm back in jail, and we only have like 15 minutes to run through questions.
We're gonna run through a question. I know, and everybody loves Kimmy Kim. Who doesn't love Kimmy Kim? There's very few and far between to find people who don't love Kimmy Kim.
That's true.
Better known as Belgium Kim.
Belgian Kim.
Yes. All right. So what's going on?
Shani Bay says, how do you know when someone's a citizen if they don't have a passport?
How do you know if somebody
Were they born in America? That's a good sign.
That would probably be a good start.
Yeah, do they have a birth certificate saying they were born here?
You could ask them.
You could ask them. I mean, there's lots of ways that you would be a citizen. We need to know more information.
But not everybody that was born here actually has a U.S. passport. I've come across people that have absolutely no need to travel, so they've actually never obtained a passport.
Correct. But you would have a birth certificate.
You would have a birth certificate.
Right. Now, if you were not born here, there's lots of ways you can be a citizen. You could have naturalized. You could have gotten it derivatively through your parents naturalizing. Maybe you were born in another country, but your parent was a citizen when you were born. Lots of different ways.
Okay, so too ambiguous.
Too ambiguous, right.
Natalie says, what if my husband has his conditional green card and then he got arrested before getting his permanent green card? What can be done for him in terms of him getting his green card now?
Why was he arrested?
Yeah, we would need to know specifically the circumstances of his arrest and what happened to the arrest.
What happened? I mean, was he arrested for going 60 to 55, or was he arrested for like triple homicide, or something in between?
those would be different
Yes,
things.
those would be different things, exactly. And then we would be able to tell him how his arrest would affect his green card status.
Shani Bay did say that the person that she was wondering whether or not a citizen, she did say that he was born in the U.S.
Then you're a citizen.
Yeah, automatically.
Just because you don't have a U.S. passport, as long as you were born in the United States.
Kadian says, what can someone do if they got married to a U.S. citizen, but he refuses to file the green card for the spouse, especially when he knew that his spouse has been out of status? Now, his wife is filing for divorce, and it got thrown out of the court because the husband is refusing to sign the divorce paperwork.
Oh, man.
And she's stuck out of status with a guy who doesn't want to file for her.
All right, 2 issues. There's not a state in the union that I believe that does not have no-fault divorce now. Okay, so as long as you can show irreconcilable differences almost anywhere where you live, you can get divorced. So that's not the reason why the divorce was thrown out of court.
Yeah.
It was maybe thrown out of court for some other reason. Maybe he wasn't served properly with the divorce papers, but not signing is generally, I don't know of a state that still has that, fault grounds for a divorce, number one. Number two, you can't force anybody to file for you. Okay, they have to do it because they love you. If they don't love you, then, they're not going to file for you. Okay, so now the issue becomes find a man who's going to love you, get divorced, and find a man who's going to love you and file for you. Or maybe there was emotional abuse, maybe there was physical abuse, and we can look at it from that angle.
Darius says, how can you get a child from Africa to adopt them in the U.S.?
Orphan petition. You got to bring the child over as an orphan. There's a process of going through to do that. Give us a call.
Samson is wondering what the requirements are to get a visitor's visa if you are from Italy.
If you're from Italy, there's different requirements. Okay, if you are from Italy, you get on a plane. Okay, there's the ESTA. You just have to go online.
Fill out the ESTA.
Fill out the ESTA and come here for 90 days. You basically go online, fill out the ESTA, and come. There's really not a lot of requirements being an Italian citizen.
Stacy said, if I already have a lawyer, can I change lawyers?
Yes.
Jinx. I jinx people all the time.
Susan wants to know, I'm married to a U.S. citizen. From about 7 months of waiting, I finally got my work permit. Could my husband now petition for my kids who are under 21, or do I need to wait until I get my green card? Is that going to, and if I do, is it going to delay my interview date?
It won't delay your date. Your husband should have filed for your kids
at
the same time. He didn't have to wait for you to get your work permit, and he can file for your kids as long as the marriage happened before they were 18.
Maureen says, can a green card holder file for a spouse to come and live in the U.S. with them? And if so, about how long is that process going to take?
Yes. Right now, we're looking at, I think the waiting periods for the priority dates is about 2.5 years or so.
No, less.
Is it less?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years? So the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that individuals are always under the misconception that you have to be a citizen to do something.
You don't.
You can be a green card holder, file for your children, just as long as they're unmarried. You can, and people always wait until they get their citizenship.
and
but
by
that's the worst thing to do.
And by the way, unless you are eligible for your citizenship at this very moment, and your husband is here or your wife is here, you should be filing an I-130 right away, because the waiting time is only 2 years, and it takes over a year to become a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they should already be doing anyway.
Correct.
Laddie says, can an illegal immigrant sue a U.S. citizen?
For what?
Yes.
The answer is yes, but I'm curious
but for what? For what? Yeah, exactly. Jenny wants to know for what.
Jenny's curious.
But the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Serge would like to know, I came here legally in 2016 with a B1 visa. I got my girlfriend, and she's American born, and we have a beautiful 1-year-old son together that was born here in the U.S. How long do you think it's going to take for me to get my green card after my girlfriend and I get married?
9 months.
Mary says,
by the way, Jenny, just jump in. Whoever answers it quick. You don't have to wait for me. Go ahead.
Actually, I've got one from Evelyn real quick that says, what is required to adopt a baby from Jamaica?
You don't adopt a baby from Jamaica. You have to file an orphan petition to bring the baby here. If you go and adopt the baby in Jamaica, that baby's not coming because you have to prove you lived with that baby for 2 years. So you got to strip the parents of their parental rights, or maybe the child's already orphaned, and at the same time do a pre-adoption in America, bring the child over to America to do the adoption. It's a process. You need a good lawyer. Trust me.
It's a complicated process.
It's a complicated process.
Denisha says, what's a fiance visa?
Fiance visa is when a U.S. citizen files a visa to bring their fiance over to the U.S. So that they can get married within 90 days of the fiance entering the U.S. And following the marriage, the fiance, well, I guess now the spouse, can go ahead and file for the green card.
Mary says, I've been here on a work visa and I overstayed. I'm married to a U.S. citizen and I did my fingerprints back in November, but have yet to have a response. My husband filed for my 3 kids who are all under 21, and I was married before the eldest's 18th birthday. Now, the eldest daughter is here on a visiting visa, and she's done her fingerprint at the same time that mom did. The younger ones also have a visiting visa. Can the younger kids travel for the summer with their aunt?
Travel where? Travel outside the U.S.? Do we know that?
It seems to be travel outside the U.S.
Did they file an adjustment? I lost the question after the second sentence. My ADD just kicked right in. I'm like, what?
Well, assuming that they were in the U.S., they overstayed, they filed for the adjustment. If they file for the advanced parole document, once it's approved, then they can travel outside the U.S.
If you travel without the advanced parole, you will be stuck.
Not only that, your green card
with the advanced parole,
application,
and the green card application
is
will be
abandoned.
denied. Yeah. Make sure you travel with the answer is yes, is provided you have advanced parole.
Yeah.
So Natalie was asking the question about the fact that her friend got arrested between the time that he got his conditional green card and the time that he's about to file for
I assume
his
it was not triple homicide. I also assume it was not 60 and a 55.
Both are correct. Correct on both.
Okay,
in between.
Thank you.
He was convicted and did 3 years for unlawful identification. He's now been released. What should he do?
Speak to a good lawyer.
Yeah, he was released. I'm surprised he wasn't put in deportation.
Really good lawyer.
That's a fraud. Could be a theft offense where the sentence was more than a year in jail. He's an ag fel.
Possibly, yeah.
Ag fel for short for aggravated felon.
But it was agricultural.
Okay. Agricultural. What?
I have no idea. Right. I'm not a farmer, Brad. Right. Marva says, I got my green card last March and I need to file for my kids in Jamaica. It's not a conditional green card. So is it possible for me to go ahead and file for my kids? And if so, can you assist me?
Yes. And yes.
Yes and yes. Those are some of my favorite answers.
Yes.
But it's also possible that depending on how she got her green card, she can do a follow to join application.
Yeah. So she didn't get what? Exactly. They may have already been included on the case and you don't even know it.
Oh.
Yes.
Man, good news all around, you guys.
It's like the poets who don't know it. Mm-hmm. I was a poet and they didn't know it. It may have been included on the case and I didn't know it.
Everybody knows you're a poet, Brad.
I am not a poet. It's really not true. Come on, you know, I'm just really not a poet.
You said you were going to check out Stormy Daniels' acting skills.
Yes.
That's true. Poets wouldn't do that.
I am going to check it out this weekend. I'm going to let everybody know what I thought of her acting skills on Monday.
Brad Stormy Daniels movie critique.
Yes. We'll have a whole segment about that.
From Brad. We've got Lisa who wants to know what the difference is between an H-2B and an H-2R visa.
I know what an H-2B visa is. I never heard of an H-2R visa.
I've heard an H-2R visa. I think it's just a former designation of an H-2B. I've seen it in that context before in the, for individuals that were trying to come in and work.
Right, H-2B visas for a seasonal worker, and H-2R.
I've seen it in the context of seasonal workers as well.
Yeah? Why do they say R?
I'm not really sure why.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure what the difference is, in all honesty. We can Google machine it.
You're both seasonal workers.
Yeah, they are both seasonal workers, but I'm not sure what the actual difference is.
We've got, by the way, Natalie, very, very smart. She said, if you mean that I should get a good immigration lawyer, then I guess I'm going to have to call you guys and make a consultation.
You got it.
He is very
You
smart.
got
Yeah.
it. Except if you have an H2R visa. It's really the same thing. It may be a job designation. Okay, they change it. They change it based on what your job designation is. Maybe the R is for agricultural workers, and I don't know, but it's based on the job designation.
We've got Iseneth, I don't know, I'm sorry. So she filed for her citizenship, but I used my daughter's address to collect mail and file my taxes, even though I don't actually live there. Is that going to pose a risk for me when I'm going in to get my citizenship?
Yeah, you're not telling the truth of where you're living. That's pretty dumb. For no reason.
Yeah, what's the reason behind it?
Because your mail comes there? It's like dumb.
Yeah, that seemed to be poor decision making.
Yes,
I think
poor
it just
decision making.
ultimately it complicates the situation, because at the time of the interview, what's she going to say? I don't live there, but I just use the address, and then the officer's going to be like, what's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, there's no way to frame that. It doesn't sound shady.
Yes, it sounds shady.
Yes. Gawain wants to know, is it if illegal parents have
Out
a
of status
citizen
parents. We're going to start using the word out of status.
Thank you. Yes, Gawain. There are no such thing as illegal humans,
Correct.
only undocumented
That's
humans.
right. That is correct. There's also not they're not illegal aliens. They're not from Mars.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
If we got invaded by little green men from Mars, those would be illegal aliens. Right. Short of that, you're not an illegal alien.
So if out of status parents have a U.S. citizen child, what's required for the child to file for the parents? All people involved live in the U.S. right now.
Child is over the age of 21. There's a legal entry for the parents.
And the child's a citizen.
Child's a citizen, yeah.
Which is no longer a child. He's a man or a woman.
Still a child. Always a child.
Right. The child of the parents, but he's a man. He's not a child anymore.
Right.
Right. Or a woman, whoever, but would it be?
Whatever Gawain might be.
Correct. Correct. I would say Dwayne. If I had to take a guess, I would say Dwayne is a man.
No, it's Gawain, no?
Gawain. And he does, from his profile picture and his strong male mustache, he does give me manly vibes.
Yes, unless he's a like the bearded lady in the carnival, one or the other.
Right, which he could. We don't judge here at Bradshaw.
Right, you can't judge that stuff anymore.
So Reginald says, my friend came here on someone else's green card over 30 years ago. What could he do to get a green card for himself?
Came on his friend's green card?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He committed fraud 30 years ago. Still, it's fraud 30 years ago. Still, fraud's a fraud.
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
I think his friend should come speak to us. Absolutely. By the way, we have to start getting questions about people's cousins. It's always about your friend. Okay? I like to hear my cousin, I'll believe it. I'll believe it's actually the first cousin question. I'm like, oh, really? It must be your cousin. Yeah, who knew?
It's always my friend.
Yeah, it's always my friend, right?
We've got Maureen who says, my friend adopted a child that's living in Jamaica.
My friend adopted.
Is it a friend? We're going to say Maureen's cousin. Maureen's cousin adopted a child in Jamaica. Is it possible for the cousin to file for that child to come and live in the U.S.? And if so, how long will it take?
It would be very hard because you have to prove you've had legal custody for 2 years, which is from the date of the adoption, and you have to prove that you physically lived in the same household as that child for 2 years. The way to have done it was to file an orphan petition and bring the child here.
We're getting a lot of questions on
And if the child parents are alive, then you have to strip the parents of their parental rights. Then that child would become an orphan. But if you go to Jamaica, or you go to almost any country, unless it's a Hague, and even any country, and you just go randomly do an adoption, the odds of getting that child to America are slim to nil. Because you either have to follow the Hague Convention rules, depending on what country you're from. Jamaica's not a Hague Convention country. Or you have to file the orphan petition rules. Otherwise, you got to prove you lived in the same house as them.
Or you have to physically move to that country.
Physically move to that country and live with them for 2 years.
Move to Jamaica for 2 years, yeah.
Oh, wow. We've got, can I squeeze in one more?
Let's squeeze in one more, and then you can tell us the the social media highlight of the day.
Highlight of the day.
Yes.
So Yannick says, my mom has a green card. Can she file for her children and her grandchildren?
Yes.
Yes.
As long as they are single.
Not
and
married.
Not married.
Yay! That's great news.
Yes, great news. And the highlight of the day. Oh, one more. One more came in. A straggler.
Thank you. Isneth, who had written down the wrong address, wants to know, do you think that she's going to need a lawyer when she's clarifying this mess up?
Yes.
The answer is definitely yes.
Yes. Usually when there's a mess up, you need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And the highlight of the day, Kimmy Kim.
The highlight of the day goes to a slew of our viewers, and you know how awesome the Brat Squad is.
Yes.
I mean, I know better than anyone.
They all picked
Brad.
American Dream.
Not only did they all pick American Dream, we have a shocking amount of nurses in our comments. We have some lifesavers.
Yes.
Today we found out that a whopping 8 people minimum, and that's just who raised their hand when I asked,
could
are
be
CNAs, are life-saving
It's very
nurses.
possible, yes.
So, congrats to these
We
nurses.
talked about that.
That was unbelievable.
Yes.
They started talking about it, and it's like, me too. Me too. It's beautiful. Thank you, life-saving nurses.
All right, so for all the life-saving nurses and non-nurses out there, and nurses' aides, and certified nursing assistants, and registered nurses, doctors, physicians, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, pharmacists, and all the medical care providers out there, as with everybody else. What I'd like you to do right now is, please, if you haven't done so already, go to the Brad Show Live page, like us, follow us, and then you can also even pick to put us to the top of your feed every time we go on live, which will be again on Monday at 5:30. You're going to be able to watch, join, have fun, get your immigration questions, and learn a little bit about all different legal areas. And we're going to be talking about your American dream, everyone's American dreams. And by the way, everyone has the right to the American dream. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thanks, Kimmy Kim. Jenny, wonderful job.
Thank you. Bye,
Jenny's
everyone.
fabulous immigration attorney here at Spar and Bernstein. We'll see you all on Monday. Have a great night.
Happy Friday.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. Ay, ay, ay.